Reed defense team demands charges dropped. In a Monday news dump targeting TMZ and other pro-Karen Reed news outlets, and having nothing to do with attorney Alan Jackson's name out in the news for his alleged inappropriate behavior with client Karen Reed, Reed's defense filed a new motion to prevent two of her criminal charges from being retried. The news made headlines on both TMZ and Fox News as Jackson claimed to have new evidence that the jurors were unanimous in clearing Reed of two of the charges in the case, based on information provided by either three jurors directly or from a friend of the juror in the case who claimed to have access to a group chat with members of the jury. Jackson filed his motion to dismiss Count 1, second-degree murder, and Count 3, leaving the scene of a personal injury or death, based on the information that he claims the jury was unanimous in verdicts of not guilty for the charges. Jackson claimed that while the jury was leaning towards a conviction in Count 2, vehicular manslaughter, because the jurors were reportedly unanimous in finding that his client was innocent of the two other charges, trying her again for those charges would be double jeopardy. The trial resulted in a hung jury last week as jurors claimed that they were fundamentally at odds with each other and coming to a unanimous decision in the case. Jackson is essentially asking the court to put aside two of the charges because three of the jury members supposedly came forward to the defense to say that the entire jury shared their beliefs that Reed was not guilty of counts 1 and 3. Jackson did not provide evidence or affidavits from the jury members in his filing, but asked the court to allow him to investigate the jury's internal deliberations in support of his motion. The prosecution has yet to respond to Jackson's motion. Upon filing with the court, the defense immediately shared that filing with TMZ, Fox News, and other pro-Karen Reed news outlets. This included Larry the DUI guy, Foreman, who immediately blitzed headlines and tweets with "not guilty," despite there being no verdict in the case, as, of course, the case resulted in a hung jury. The request may be delayed if granted, as Judge Beverly Cannoni, who handled the trial, ordered on Monday the names of the jurors in the case impounded for 10 days. Her ruling indicated that she was protecting the jurors from possible danger as people associated with the case have been charged with intimidation. While not naming him, the judge's order was directly squared at Aidan Turtleboy Kearney, who has been charged with multiple counts of conspiracy to intimidate, witness intimidation, and picketing. Kearney had promised that he would taint the jury pool before the trial and made what some would consider threats that he would expose the jury's identities if the jury returned a guilty verdict. In response to the judge's order, DUI guy Foreman released an indignant statement on Twitter claiming that threats from members of the Albert and McCabe families may be the reasoning behind her decision. No mention was made of Kearney. In more Reed-related news, Massachusetts State Trooper Michael Proctor, the lead investigator in the case, was suspended without pay while an internal affairs investigation into his inappropriate comments in text messages during the Reed case continues. Proctor could face charges following the investigation that could be heard by a state police trial board if warranted.